happens when people don't have someone to fight for them. Together and not have any consideration about their disabilities, how they're going to interact. You know, you'd kind of almost think like, and especially therapists, right? It would be good if there was some sort of way to look at, oh, okay, here's two participants. They've actually got, you know, therapists from the same company. So that would be a good way to then save money on therapy, because maybe they could come and bill then, you know, half
together.
each. Yeah. So I'm like, there's creative ways that we could think about cost savings and things like that. But, you know, I don't know how SIL providers could kind of do that. But SIL's a hard space. I remember I don't like drop-in supports. I know you have to sometimes. I had a really traumatic experience when I was a SIL provider. We had a young man living in a house in, I think it was Balcatta, maybe Balga, highly suicidal. And he came out of hospital. The hospital, literally, we said, oh, these are some houses we've got available. You can take him to come look while we wait for his SIL funding to come in. Royal Perth Hospital, the social workers just left him at one of the houses. We were not prepared. We did not have supports in place. His plan was not sufficient to have the 24-hour, you know, supports that he needed, kind of while we stabilised him. So anyway, so we just had to kind of take him on and do it all very quickly. He was going to run out of funding, so the support coordinator said, you know, just turn it to drop-in supports. And I remember turning to my manager and going, he's going to kill himself. We can't not, we have to do, like, can we do something? Can the business maybe cover it something? And it was just like, no, like, it is what it is kind of thing. Literally the next day, I get to the office, I'm getting a call from the support worker who was meant to be on shift. They're like, he's not answering. And I just knew, like, in my gut, I was like, he's gone. Hindsight's a funny thing. You know, that this was a learning experience for me. I remember saying to my manager, I need to go, something's wrong. They let me go. They let me take the spare keys and go. Oh, actually, no, there was no spare keys. That was the problem. We were looking for the lockbox, that's right. So they let me go. I get to the property with the support worker. We're on the property looking for the lockbox. Couldn't find it. All the doors were locked. There was a bathroom window that was open like this much, so we were actually trying to climb into the house. Thank God we didn't get in. We ended up calling police. Police went through and they said he had actually blocked all the vents and he'd gassed himself in the house overnight. So it was lucky we actually didn't get in because we could have been poisoned. That has really impacted me. And I think this is why I fight so hard, because I've seen what happens when people don't have someone to fight for them.
Yep.
You know, I went to his funeral and I remember when we told his family the news and his mum. I remember being in the office and the scream when we told her that tore through the office. I will never forget it. I went to his funeral and his mum crying. Like, I will never forget that.